LEGO Creative recently released in Fortnite, and with it came a flood of user-created maps. Some have been incredibly fun, while others are just plain confusing. So today, I'm playing 40 different LEGO maps to tell you which ones are actually worth your time. So let's dive in. It made sense to start off with the official LEGO group maps first, as these should be the best maps. So first off, we have LEGO Battle Arena. This map is just your classic arena knockout minigame from every party game you've ever played. The LEGO flair here though is that it's Ninjago themed, and you use your spin jitsu attack to knock people out of the crumbling arena. Is it fun? Sure, for a couple games at least, but the time between rounds is far too long, taking 20 seconds just to show you the scores and countdown before you can jump in again. Final score, 7 out of 10. Prop Hunt has been a classic creative map type for a while, so it's hard to reinvent the wheel here, but LEGO did a pretty decent job. The map is well designed, with the perfect amount of cute LEGO touches and an array of props to transform into. The map did feel a little cluttered at first, but you get used to it pretty quick once you've played on each side a few times. Some people might be used to having more tools at their disposal as a seeker in Prop Hunt, but you're out of luck in that regard here. You get a periodic whistle from the props to help guide you, as well as visual audio if you turn that on. Other than that, you've got a pickaxe and a dream, baby, so get hunting. Final score, 8 out of 10. Obi-Fun was the first creative LEGO map that was released to us, and it's your basic obstacle course map, but dumbed way down. Each platform slowly pops up in front of you, one at a time, and the only reason you could fall off is because of the terribly adjusted jump distance. I feel like the default LEGO jump distance is deceivingly short, making platforming more annoying than difficult. The calming music in this map would have earned it an extra point or two, but the repetitive sound effects that happen when a new platform appears and when you jump cancel that all out. Final score, 5 out of 10. This one is a C-list minigame at best. The point of the game is to keep at least one piece of your raft remaining at all times, while the pirates, who were totally chill with you at the beginning, try to cannonball the shit out of you. You only get wood to build new pieces once another piece is destroyed, and you can only hold one piece at a time. Essentially just walk around building squares until you die. You can collect gold chests to make a little number go up if you care about that sort of thing, but that's it. Oh, and despite the fact that you can play this solo, if you fall in the water, you're just screwed, because only your friends can rescue you, and this shark is not your friend. Final score, 5 out of 10. LEGO Cat Island Adventure was designed for a very specific audience, and I am aware that that audience was likely not 30-year-old men playing it for a cynical review video, so I will attempt to judge it accordingly. This map is essentially the LEGO Fortnite version of Tamagotchi. You start off with this adorably strange cat that is likely voiced by an unpaid intern, and you're tasked with feeding him, bathing him, and picking up his weirdly colored shit. Genuinely don't know why it's a different color every time, but there's no vet on this island to answer that question, or my question on how my cat is able to eat a whole coconut. But anyway, you can travel around the island to visit several interesting but pointless buildings you can't interact with, and have them meet other cooler cats that you'll wish you owned instead. Also, if you get bored, you can put the cat in the hat. Final score, 6 rainbow colored shits out of 10. That about wraps up all the official LEGO group maps, with an average score of 6. From here out, it's a true test of my sanity, so buckle in, kids. And if you're enjoying the video so far, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. I wrote an 11-page script for this ridiculous video, so it helped me feel a little better about the time I put into it. Anyway, stand on the corresponding colored square that it tells you to stand on. As long as you finish learning all your colors, this one should be pretty easy for you. If you hate friendship, you could also try to knock other people off with your pickaxe, but you'll quickly find that that mechanic is very inconsistent. Most of the time, you'll just awkwardly knock your opponent a couple feet in the air, but other times you'll randomly launch them halfway across the map to their death. Final score, 5 out of 10. Welcome to the first of our weapons-based maps. At the time of this recording, there are only 4. That's right, 4 weapons available to us currently in LEGO Creative. But oh boy, will you soon find out how often creators try and make it seem like there's an infinite number of weapon options in hopes of getting you to play their maps. You've got the ray gun, pulse rifle, snowball launcher, and goo gun. The 4 weapons LEGO deemed to be child-friendly.
So I'm gonna goo all over 100 players?
You also have basic consumables and a grapple gun to round things out. All of that handles well enough in LEGO Creative, with a bit more of a arcadey floatiness, if that makes sense. And you can experience it well enough in this map. Not much more to it. Final score, 5 goo guns out of 10. This isn't the first creative map to stretch the definition of the word death run, if we're being honest. The only way you're likely to fall off this map is if your controller dies halfway through a jump. Collect the gold coins, score your free XP, never play it again. Final score, 4 random vending machines that you actually can't use out of 10. Once again, we find ourselves segregating our primary colors and forcing them to battle each other. Why must we repeat history? Anyway, we're back to stretching the limits of what we can creatively do with only 4 weapons. This time around though, we're adding in destruction physics, and surprisingly, this added a lot. Almost everything in this map can crumble into little LEGO rubble if it takes enough damage. Reminiscent of games like Battlefield or Red Faction Guerrilla, but not as cool. The map does regenerate after a while, meaning you can continue to enjoy this mechanic throughout the game, which is great because you'll need a way to kill the 60 minutes they expect you to wait for this vault of useless junk to become available. Final score, 7 crumbling LEGO towers out of 10. Does anyone else remember when the backroom concept was exclusively used for horror-based games? When did it become an excuse to just slap terrible textures on some walls and call it a game? Final score, 3 ugly wallpapers out of 10. Here's where people just start lying about what their maps actually are. A map doesn't just become a 1v1 map just because you put a V-shaped structure in the middle of it. This is a free-for-all map and a poorly designed one at that. They just threw random junk in, including the mandatory wait a ridiculous amount of time for pointless stuff vault, and hit publish. Shame. Shame on you, Dingle. Final score, 2 dongles out of 10. What would this video be without at least one only up map? Better. It would be better. Gone are the days where people take the time to carefully theme their only up maps and meticulously place each piece for optimum challenge and fairness. Now you just spiral random junk up as high as you can and call it a day. Less than a minute in and the LEGO theme is already out the door and I'm just jumping on RVs and shipping containers. I refuse to waste any more time on this map. I'm also terrible at only up maps. Final score, 4 piano frogs out of 10. The Pit free-for-all is not to be confused with the Pit free-for-all. It's the same but worse. Once again, we took the approach of throwing random shit into an arena and calling it a day, but this time they added in a prop gun, which actually turned out to be the best weapon in the game because for some reason, once you turn into a car, you are invincible. Beautiful. Final score, 2 random wall posters out of 10. Fun fact about this map, if you join into a game that's already started, you just get to chill in this empty room for the whole time until the other person finishes the game. Fun. Anyway, once you actually get to join the game, you're faced with the spooky task of cleaning up the house, and for some reason that means picking up books and piles of dirty towels. What is going on in this house? But once that's complete, the boxes blocking the stairs open up and you can finally experience the one jump scare of the whole map. But you probably won't see it because it practically appears inside of you once you reach the top. No worries though, because he reappears in a much less scary way later on when you find him pacing this hallway. I imagine he is supposed to help prevent you from collecting the 5 coconuts you need to open the next door, but I figured out that they just keep respawning so you can just sit at one of them until you have 5. Once you unlock the door, you walk into this blue wall and that's it. Congrats, you've wasted 5 minutes of your life. Final score, 4 jump scares out of 10. While I believe adding the phrase all guns to this map title when there's currently only 4 is a bit pointless, I have to give this map a little credit for introducing a unique mechanic. Level effects. Before you jump into this neighborhood themed arena, you can choose to temporarily flood the whole map, cover the floor in lava, or turn everyone into the Flash with super speed boost. And while the lava wasn't working for whatever reason for me, the other 2 added quite a bit of random fun to the otherwise repetitive free-for-all style gameplay. If there were a few more level effects to choose from, or if this secret coin wasn't impossible to get to, I would probably be giving this one a higher rank. But for now, final score, 6 tiny LEGO jumps out of 10. We've got a ranked LEGO map, folks. It's really here. Call it clicks, call it booga, let's get this tournament rolling. Although I imagine they'll probably have a bit of a problem with the number of cheeky spots you could just sit in to spawn troll the other team. I can't imagine all the rank sweats would like that. Final score, 4 sad boogas out of 10. I've personally found that escape room maps are only as fun as the furthest room you can reach before you rage quit. For me, that was room 12 of this map. So I'm cutting that number in half and giving this a final score of 6 out of 10. Brick Stage is less of a map and more of a training course for the recently released music tools. It's also less an original idea and more of a poorly made ripoff of the already existing map from Harmonix Labs called Music Gallery. Music Gallery was a clean, well-designed map that broke down each of the Patrick tools in an easy-to-follow manner. Brick Stage tries to teach you the same things but doesn't believe in straight lines, so they make you wander around a giant desert map looking for the next stage of your lesson. Imagine after finishing your first history lesson in high school, instead of simply moving on to the next chapter, the teacher was like, "Alright class, grab your things, we'll be teaching the next lesson at the end of the football field." You can imagine how distracting that might be. Final score, 5 out of 10. Go play Music Gallery instead. Bricks Red vs. Blue, not to be confused with Bricks Red vs. Blue Ranked, is a great map for those of you who played any of the previous Red vs. Blue maps and thought, there's too many things in this map, I need more room to roam freely. Final score, 3 empty voids out of 10. While I didn't entirely understand how they were requesting that I set up my controls to play this map properly, the concepts were pretty interesting. This creator found a way to actually allow you to build in LEGO Creative, and this was the only map that I found with this mechanic. Sadly, with so few people actually playing it, I wasn't able to build fight anyone. But I enjoyed seeing a unique concept for the first time in several LEGO maps that I had slogged through so far, and I can imagine how fun this could be with more people. Although I don't know that I would have chosen this sound to play every time you built something. Final score, 6 out of 10. What a gross misuse of the word mega in the title of an arena map that is moderately sized and mostly empty. The instruction physics don't do enough to help compensate this time around. Blue Drive has certainly made some pretty cool creative maps in the past, but this is not one of them. Go check out his other maps instead. Final score, 4 out of 10. You can't just shove the word LEGO builds into a half-baked Fortnite POI and call it a day. Stop it. Tilted Towers deserves better than this. Final score, 2 sad guitar solos out of 10. Every red versus blue map I've played has subsequently less and less in their actual maps. At this point, we are 1 map away from spawning into a completely empty box with just a like and a favorite poster on the wall. Plus, they couldn't even get the spawns to work properly. Final score, 2 disappointed dads out of 10. I have to be honest at this point in saying that my bar of quality is dropping at an astounding rate, but I assure you, rock bottom is yet to come. With that being said though, I did find the landscape of this pit free-for-all map to be somewhat entertaining. Something about fighting in a nature-themed arena felt more fun than the usual random blocks, but maybe that's because I'm yearning to touch grass after having played 23 of these terrible maps so far. Final score, 5 happy little trees out of 10. I truly struggle to say positive things about only up maps, not just because I'm terrible at them, but mostly because I'm terrible at them. What did I give the last one? A 4 out of 10? Final score, 4.5 out of 10. Good luck beating Fishstick's best time of 21 feet. Brick Mansion Tycoon became my comfort game of the night. I had slogged through 24 other maps before this, and I was very, very tired. I simply needed to turn my brain off, and Brick Mansion Tycoon was there for me. I lost track of time playing this, just making the little number go up, building my cozy mansion, collecting my pets, defending my reign as king of the Craggle, starting a bitter rivalry with Mom Sauce 93. This map had everything and nothing all at once. An hour went by and I had finished building my mansion, only to be asked if I'd tear it all down again to start anew, a rebirth they call it. I agreed, and in return, I was rewarded a lion. I named him Carl. Final score, 11 out of 10. We have like another 20 of these to review and I need to go to bed. As Pablo Picasso once said, good artists borrow, but great artists poorly replicate overly done maps from Call of Duty. If you haven't caught on yet, this is a recreation of the map Rust from Modern Warfare 2, except this time with soft colored blocks so it's safe for all ages. I really liked Rust when it came out 15 years ago, and I'd like to keep that memory sacred and untouched by LEGO. Final score, 4 COD montages out of 10. I don't want to play red versus blue maps anymore. I don't want to do it. Final score, I don't know, 10? Why am I doing this? Finally, I found something different. Brick OB Death Run was actually kind of fun. It gave early Sonic and Mario level vibes, and while it wasn't very difficult, the introduction of simple puzzles to the usual Death Run design made a huge difference. They're definitely tapping into my nostalgia brain, but I'm buying it. My only complaint is the unfortunate return of the poor LEGO jumping mechanics. We've seen that you can change these settings, so now this stands out more as a bad choice for a platforming focused map. Final score, 7 out of 10. Next up, well, this looks familiar. Surely this isn't the exact same map. It's the exact same map. Anyway, my favorite thing about this map is they felt the need to really build the excitement by making you wait through not 1, not 2, but 3 different round starting timers before you can actually play the game. And then I guess they must have thought that you'd be so excited to collect random eggs that you might rush through things too fast. So they also added in this slow animation every time you collect one, to really give you time to think about that egg and how happy you are collecting them. So happy. Final score, 1 out of 10. I'm starting to think that reviewing every LEGO map might have been a mistake. I don't know what else to say about only up maps at this point. Do you like jumping? Well then boy are you gonna 3 out of 10 final score. Very interested to know what the game looked like before this update that was so important that they actually put it in the title. But unfortunately, I don't think we can even call this a game. This feels like a testing ground for random ideas. You have this random customized button that starts a timer but doesn't actually do anything. You've got an ad for a different map that you can't actually play, and even the houses look like they're actively trying to leave the map. I think this might be a case of confusing the save button for the publish button. Final score, I'm not even reviewing this. I think this is a mistake. If you weren't aware, Gun Game is a mode where every time you get an elimination, you cycle to a different weapon, and the first person to reach the final weapon wins. But to reiterate once more, there's only 4 weapons in this game. This mode simply does not work in LEGO Fortnite right now. And no matter how much random crap you pack into your map, it's not going to fix that. On top of that, they had the audacity of putting a random floating JPEG of the iconic map facing worlds from the original Unreal Tournament, which I guarantee everyone would rather be playing than this. Final score, 3 out of 10. Next up, we have Block Wars Free For All, with a thumbnail begging for a DMCA takedown. It's the Sonic Obstacle Course map again. Different thumbnail, different name, different creator, same map for the 3rd time. I feel like I'm losing my mind. We're moving on. Brick, diamond versus gold. At least we've picked different colors this time around, and they've decided to add in this special coin vault with a timer that actually doesn't count down at all. Somehow I think if this was a red versus blue map, it would be better. Final score, 1 diamond ore out of 10. I'm going to use this map as an important lesson in map design. The size you want your map to be is something you should give a lot of thought to. When you're competing with hundreds of other maps for the attention of players, it's always going to be an uphill battle to get enough players to fill your lobbies. So if you decide to design your entire map to revolve around having large, full lobbies of players, you're almost always going to fall short, leaving you with maps that feel empty and unfinished. I think Snowball Battle could be fun if you could consistently get the max max 20 players in here for a game. But the fact is, I couldn't get a single lobby with anyone else, let alone a full 20 players. Thus, this map will likely never see its full potential. Final score, 5 fingers crossed that this map will suddenly take off out of 10. This map forgot to crop out their desktop taskbar for the thumbnail. Good job. They also forgot to actually start you on the obstacle course. Instead, you have to turn around, run up this random hill behind you and hit this button. Then get yeeted off the map like this guy for some reason. The first half of the course only takes about 10 seconds to reach the end portal, which once again will yeet you off the map if you're not careful. Then after you finish the mandatory death run game of guessing which path won't instantly kill you, you're presented with the winner house. Hooray, I guess? Final score, 1 moment of silence for Golden Possum for getting yeeted off at the beginning out of 10. Okay, I think my rating scales might be getting a little confusing. Skybrick Arena deserves more players. I'll say that right from the start. The arena design is incredibly fun. It's perfectly designed to encourage you to leap off the map to reposition with the grapple gun, and the layering of the floors and stairs gives you plenty of options to take on a fight. Sadly, I didn't get to test out any of these theories with actual players, as I couldn't get into a lobby with anyone. But if you can even get a group of 3 or 4 friends together to give this one a try, I'd highly suggest it. Hopefully we get more weapons in the future, as I could see this one being a big hit. Final score, 7 out of 10. Finally, we've got... No. It's the Sonic obstacle course again. 4 times. We found this map 4 times. This time it's called... A gun game? There's not even guns. It's lies inside of lies. I've played too many maps. This is my punishment. Thank you all for watching. Please go check out these maps. Obviously, I wasn't able to review every LEGO map because it feels like there's a new one coming out every hour, but these are my favorites on screen if you want to check them out. And if you enjoyed this, please give it a like and subscribe. Every video I make for you guys does eat up a little more of my will to live each time, so the least you can do is like and subscribe. And maybe try to make some better LEGO maps so I never have to go through this again. All right, bye.